Good evening, folks. I'm Tassinix. Welcome to the season 43 5 versus 5 Grand Arena Championship week 3 wrap up. So this is the season wrap up for that 5 versus 5 season. And we have our co-hosts here tonight, TJ and Dagger. Dagger is a little more pressed for time this evening, so we're definitely going to put the effort in making sure that we get his answers straight away in case he suddenly has to depart. But thank you so much for being here, gentlemen. How you guys doing? Dagger first, obviously.
I'm doing all right. A little tired, worn around the edges, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how public the good news is for you, but it's
It's
understandable
not.
why you'd be tired.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, TJ, what's cracking?
I'm also tired for undagger related reasons.
That's fair.
So thanks for having me. I also know that my name's not cool enough to be on the task list whenever, he gets to give it all the people that, he loves and adores. I'm just not on the list. But other than that, I'm okay.
There is not. I must point out that the special thanks is meant as special thanks for those who've actually thrown like considerable money at the stream at some point. And I'm
Yes.
not saying that you should. I'm saying that that's why it
Right.
wasn't already there.
That's okay. You two can buy his love for enough money.
Yeah,
What are you trying to tell
we're a long way from you two buying me anything, but know that I love you in my heart. So yeah, guys, let's dive right into it since time is of the essence. So this week 3 here, I know it's already been a few days, but hopefully it's still fresh enough in your mind. What worked? I'll just let Dagger go ahead and get it out first. So let's have it, Dagger. What surprisingly worked for you? Did it take any risks, or was it just a straight steamroll? You know. Your mic's off.
Well, I played
okay, there.
I played the first round and not the next two rounds, so
Okay.
I don't have a whole lot to add to this. Besides, Night Sisters and Tuscans are really good. Keep using them for meaningful tasks.
How do you feel about the usefulness of Tuscans going forward with the expiration of Set 8?
Excellent.
All the same
They'll still
matchups? What's restricted? What can't you do anymore? Anything where you're relying on being able to revive, clearly.
I would say things that get strong crons that were close before will be locked out now, like CLS. The Wookiee cron will probably lock out Tuscans. So basically, like Tuscans will beat everything that they already beat, like Zori, Seer, stuff like that. They'll be all that stuff. Though.
I hadn't tried it against Seer. I'll tell you what, I have something to discuss about that when we get to things that didn't work, because I felt like it almost didn't work.
Against the Calcron, it was full auto. Without the Calcron, you have to play it, but it's not hard. You don't lose anybody. It just takes forever.
All right, fair enough. Oh yeah, let me turn on the stream in case any of you guys want to see what we're doing as we're doing it. And then of course, TJ. Well, did you have anything else that worked well for you? Let me put that out there.
Oh no, I was just saying, but yeah, the whole time thing that I talked about tonight too. It's like I only played my first round, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You'll be more restricted to that kind of thing. TJ, so what's the good word? What worked for you this week?
It's all the same things. I don't know if we're going to find anything too different. I didn't really notice or see anything that would I think Dagger called it out pretty good last week, and that we were going to get a little more stringent this week because there's nothing to lose. And I'm not mistaken. I know Tash, you went 3-0, I believe, and I went 3-0. And Dagger, I know you were busy, dude. So I know you're not gonna. You may or may not have, but I think it was a good week for everybody.
I went 2-1.
Yeah, but
nice.
I went
but
2-1.
Nice.
But you only got to play once, right? Because of real life events. So it's like I think you would have gotten your 3-0, but real life got the best of you. But like it was a good week for everybody. But I think Dagger called it pretty well. We knew what would work. We knew what wouldn't work. Pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we got to push the barrier more this week because there was nothing to lose and not doing it.
Yeah. And that kind of brings me right into what worked for me. So yeah, I went 3-0 in the top bracket, like the absolute first time I've ever done that. For the very first time, I defeated Aesop Rock and Taro. It was like,
Really quick.
what's up?
You start and you went 3-0, and you're in the same spot that you were last week. So get fucked.
I was gonna get to that. Like I won the last 6 rounds consecutively, and 5 of those was at rank 4. So yeah, so that's how much accrued rating the top 3 have. It's pretty incredible how winning these guys are. But it was my first time doing that, and it kind of ties right in with what TJ and Dagger was saying. You know, when you have kind of everybody's kind of got it figured out what was the meta for this month with the crons and everything that we had. That's where I actually have a real opportunity to shine, I think, because of the scouting, right? Like if I scout somebody deep enough and it's like, look, like you know how it is, you're gonna play it like this. If I plan for that, I'm probably gonna get you. And I got you. Like I got everybody this week, and it was an absolute incredible achievement. I'm over the moon about it. Still rank 4 though. What worked well for me this week? I had my Night Sisters with the Kron. I think I have a horrible memory of doing this before the Marin Kron was available, but Mother Talzin versus Finn, that was a snap for 65, of course. I don't know why I ever doubted it, but I have a distant memory of just getting absolutely hosed in the past. But, it did work. Something else that worked that was really
It's because you didn't. It's because you didn't have Daka Zombie.
Was it? I don't know.
It was in 3s. Yes, it was in 3s. Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're all remembering this triggering better than I am for me, because yeah, I remember being triggered. What worked well? I'm checking my sheet here real quick. Yeah, what was great was the deception of everybody's been working on Jabba the whole season, right? Like, are you gonna 2-shot Jabba with Night Sisters and Mon Mothma or Troopers? Like, are you planning to 1-shot it? What's your opponent's strategy? What's your strategy for how you're gonna use Jabba? And I kept fighting people that were getting super comfortable with Night Sisters, and only 1 round did I pull them off defense, but it was decisive and it was worth it. And like that felt great using Jabba for 65 on Malgus. I'm sure there's other things at its 65s, but that's a really elegant solution to be able to do that. Let's see. I don't know if anything else here is that crazy for this week. I guess this kind of brings us right into what didn't work. And we'll go right to Dagger again. I know you only played 1 round, but anything blow you out? Anything let you down?
Have TJ go first.
Oh, have TJ go first. Okay, TJ.
Yeah, that works.
What let you down? What left you stranded in the dark?
It's only the RNG aspect of things where I wanted to get a little riskier in some of the decisions I made, and it was just a variety of different things. One match this round, it would be this or it would be that. Things that would normally work didn't work. SLK versus Jabba, and it was my fault. It wasn't I didn't take enough. And because I didn't take enough, it wasn't able to stay in front. Where if I had taken crew, I didn't have crew. I didn't have red 1 round, and I tried SLK, and it failed. And it should have failed because that was my fault for trying to come in with too little and not respect Jabba to be the 1-shot it was going to be. Anything that didn't work was no more than something that we'll call 5% RNG, but 95% I wasn't giving it the respect it deserved and trying to minimize my decisions. Again, at this point in the game, we have the Datacrons so like all set, right? So the 9s, the 10s, everything that we had needed or whatever the set we're on now, everything was set the way it should have been. So that was my fault for doing. So that's user error. Nothing stands out, and it won't. We'll be coming back next season, and it won't be nothing the same because the crowns will be gone. So,
Yeah, and for those of you catching this here on YouTube, the where we are right now in time is we're on Thursday of the first week of Conquest for set 10. So this is Wookiees, Phoenix, Clone Troopers. That's the theme. It's all light side. It's coming just after set 9, which has that bulk level 3 for light and dark side. So it's interesting because we had a lot of dark side crons expire here from set 8. It's going to be wild when we go back to 5s. It's good because every time like we were all just talking about how things just felt solved and how we're having to just go and do our best with knowing what we're all going to do, and it's going to be nice to go back into strange lands next 5s. All right, Dagger, what you got? What left you abandoned, feeling hopeless? How am I ever going to get through? How did this happen to me? I've made my mistakes.
I lost with Starkiller versus Ray for the very first time.
What happened there?
JTR mind tricked Mace into heal immunity on Visas, calling Ray to cleanse herself, and then Ray going into ult.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yep, was not able to revive EP, and the fight ended.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that was 93% added health on a bolt prop.
Wow. I definitely
So,
I empathize with that. Go ahead.
No, that's all. That's what that and fleet counters failed. So super sloppy cleanups. Won't go into too much detail on the fails, but yeah, basically like had some bad energy on fleet, but that's been my MO. That's why we talk ad nauseum about why I save as much as I save for fleet.
Yeah,
I'm trying to put up with that.
For sure. Well, as far as what didn't work for me, I'll say this. There's only a couple people that probably have modding of this kind on this team at this point, but I encountered a Saw team that's Captain Rex, Kyle, Kara, and Chirrut, and that is said to be... no, I'm sorry. It was not Captain Rex. That's what I set against an opponent who tried to wamp it, and it failed for them, and they had to two-shot it, and it worked out just fine for them. But the one that I fought was... Where is that? Saw, Kara, Kyle, Chirrut, and Baze. So, like, this is, like, the quote-unquote the wampable comp. I'll show you guys right here. My old girl was absolutely slapping. Like, she's big. She's built. She's brawny. And for all the... And we had a great, protection up cron. Something like 80% health steal, 100% crit damage, and the product level 3, pretty good stuff. First time trying it, and I had the banners to afford to try it, but what ended up happening, I'm told that you kind of get to wait a while because, they're going to lock you out of cooldowns. You have to wait till you come back around to your slap to put your protection up. And you have to hope that the protection up from the Datacron sustains you until then. It did not sustain me until then. And that is fascinating because people have been wamping this composition pretty regularly in the season. So I was shocked. But, I took care of it right away afterwards with CLS. Let's see here. In the later part of the season, I found that defense crons on Ray gave me much more trouble than Ray, and I think that was also true of my opponents. The only drop an opponent had on my Ray all season was my last match, and that's one of the couple of matches where I was running my highest light side defense cron on Ray. So, apparently with enough health, it can, impede you, and if the cooldowns line up, like in Dagger's case. But, impeding somebody getting to DI is probably a more reliable way to, stymie Starkiller, if I had to guess. And it was true for me and my opponents. I dropped on that guy's Ray, and he dropped on mine. We were both running the best defense we could. Sear, I wanted to mention this because I wanted to put this in the almost failed section. I ran Gas against Sear, right? And Gas has been doing great for me in clutch situations on offense all season. The anti-Night Sisters for sure. But my opponent didn't set Night Sisters. So Gas was available and Sear was available to take out. You figure with all those buffs on that team was a done deal, right? No, absolutely not. That took forever. And, I was really worried about a timeout risk. It got into the last minute before we were stacked up so large. And by the way, we had sacrificed 5s and everything, so the banners were just absolute straight garbo. I was shocked by, just how much of a strong fight this put up to Gas. Because this is my Gas with, 50% protection, 50% crit damage. I want to say something like 60% defense. A decently well-balanced Kron. So you're thinking it should be a steamroll. Not so. That was almost a timeout. I was absolutely terrified by that. I also had difficulty against a Leviathan late in the season. It's just RNG, fleet RNG. I think that's the loosest way to explain it without giving away the house. So, yeah. All right, that covers what didn't work. Takeaways. So it's kind of tough. I guess I'll go first real quick just to tee it up on takeaways for this season because, some of the set 8 stuff that's gone, I guess Wampa will be able to do even less than we want it to right now because Boltkron's still going to be kind of the standard that I expect most people will run unless they have a specifically well-tailored 3, 6, 9 in this new set that fits their clones, their Wookiees, their Phoenix, what have you. But so Wampa's going to be a little more limited, I think, which sucks. But also, I know this was actually one of Dagger's points, so I'll credit him for it. But yeah, with this Mara Jade Kron expiring and, the myriad benefits of whatever level 3 and 6 you have paired with it, that's all gone. And so now taking that fight, which is pretty reliable against Ray, but it was also pretty reliable because you had a lot of power brought by that Kron, we will be more limited in the way that we approach Ray. So that's a fair point. Since I cited you by name there, let's go ahead and pass the baton right to you, Dagger. What do you got thoughts about takeaways for the next season? When I say next season, I say 5s. I think that's the intelligent way to approach this question. The next 5s, because it doesn't matter what we learned here from 5s for 3s.
Well, my monologue is actually going to be about fleet. So if you look at week 2 when Leviathan came out, and then they fixed the bugs for week 3, you see a 5% to 7% drop in profundity. So profundity went from 91 to 85, 84%. And then you saw Thrawn go from 88% to 62%. Right? The Thrawn counter went through the fucking floor. And then Holdo went from 26% to 4%, and Mega went from 17% down to 4%. So when you're looking at your fleet counters, you should really try and figure out what your cleanups are going to be, because I feel like fleet is going to be pretty messy going forward now that the bugs are fixed. Because I've been saying this several places for a while, but the Leviathan has been much maligned for no reason.
It was maligned for some reason.
During 3s.
It was maligned for some reason when it was rife with bugs, but yes, it's badass.
Well, sure. Even when it was bugged, it wasn't beaten consistently except for 2 counters. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is we have to really see how this fleet thing plays out for 5 or this month to get a good idea for 5s, because we need to see if we can try and annually get those percentages up a little bit as the player base. Because man, everyone the stats I gave you were just Kyber 1. It's not like I gave you all the plebs in for Rhodium.
All right,
not that you're plebs if you're in a Rhodium, you know what I mean. It's the full relic levels, it's the top 1,000 players. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is the takeaway is for someone like me who gets bad RNG, TJ who gets bad RNG, right? really, really dial in these fleet counters and figure out where they go wrong to try and self-correct.
Yep.
I just want to know that I got a 77 versus Leviathan. So I just want to make sure that's out there that, fuck you, Dagger.
It's doable.
That bomb, but I did get a 77.
Well, I too have
done it. It's fine.
Dagger's point is absolutely valid that I make big poopies when it comes to GAC stuff. But I had to give the F-bomb to Dagger just for a minute because I did get a 77.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's my biggest takeaway. Tash kind of hit on some of my points. Not my points, but some of the points already. But this 3v3 is going to be dominated by the Boltcron, so it's going to be not a whole lot of new from last season, right? Last 3v3 was also dominated by the Boltcron. Starkiller is probably not going to work well, so you're probably going to have to use JML, Jedi Cal, or C, or you have to do something else.
Yeah.
But I chose Fleet as my takeaway because it's ubiquitous.
That's fair. TJ, what you got? What are you taking away from this? What are you applying to next season? What are you thinking the next fives is going to look like here with our new set in place? Any Nostradamus, what are your predictions?
So I'm going to give Dagger his props on the call for ships. That actually got me my 3-0. I just looked at my history, and my guy tried Profundity and failed, and Leviathan to build on my Leviathan, and I win. That was one of my worst runs I've had. So fleets are going to be a dominant percentage of what we're going to see. If we're going all the way to fives, and I'll even go to threes, you need to change your thought process on the game as it comes to Datacrons. I think 100% Dagger is right. I think these bulk is going to be everywhere. I think now what you're going to see is a Sithcron for Starkiller. And that's going to be something like Ability Block or Dispel or some other funky thing. I think Bulk's going to be rampant, but I think there are going to be key places where, like the Wookiee Cron, with a lot of armor pen, a lot of glass cannon, is just going to be muddy. And I wouldn't sleep on it.
Really quick, let me step in here. Cass, you may be number 1 in your own mind, number 4 on the leaderboard, but you're 9 through 16 in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I have been found. I am heading out. You guys have a good night.
All right, take care. You got to bow. All right, take care. Have a good night.
Yeah, he's out. Okay, so I'm gonna say don't sleep on these glass cannon crons. We saw before. I think Ayla is gonna be a monster doing great things for JML. I think JKC is gonna be a monster doing great things for JKC. So that's my takeaway. If we're gonna look at things, this cron set is more niche. But I think those 9s are powerful, and I think it's going to have a strong place come the next 5s when we're rounding out our bulk crons, and these glass cannon teams are just going to punch through everything with high armor pen.
It's the return. It's the return of the absolute bane of my existence, the armor pen CLS team.
Oh man, and it's got a Wookiee level 6, and that's what I was telling people. It's like you're going off of what you're seeing on the 9s when it comes to Wookiees. Don't. Just a build Wookiee team. And having back to the money, and they're going to have 200% armor penetration, they are going to delete you. Looking at back to JKL with JKC, it's just, you could put it up to where they're getting, 75% less damage. Yeah. So they're niche. I'm not saying they're not niche, but these high damage, punch through, I got 100% defense. Well, we don't care. The armor pen is just going to absolutely eat you up, and it's going to push right through you. It's going to be fun. But yeah, bulk effect is still going to be there. It's just some of these teams, man. I'm excited. It's going to be wild.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm looking forward to 3s though. It's because we had bulk, and if I've said this before, an advantage equally applied means no one has an advantage. So everybody's got these well-developed bulk crons, especially in our neck of the woods. And I'm interested in what kind of splash these new crons are going to make, because for a couple of teams they're going to be highly impactful. Does Tarful stop being a meme for a moment? Is he actually going to just straight slap almost everything? Is something yet lurking? I haven't really read deep into this set as far as what the 3s and 6s are, but I'm looking forward to the chaos that I'm expecting from maybe 2 or 3 teams per match.
I do want to say one more thing for Tass, where everybody should feel for him. I've heard around the way from other parts that, like Taro, the day one of the Whalecron, and I'll call it the Whalecron because now it's the Wild West, and that min-max is now 100% available. As of the first day, Taro already had 200 more rerolls in one day from that set. And that was hours into the release. We're not talking like 24. We're saying that.
Dig this. I'm looking at him live on screen right now. Check that out.
That he had jumped, in the matter of hours, had jumped 200 rerolls. So what we see come out of this set will be the creme de la creme of min-maxing, and I would be fearful for
That's a really good point. Yes, the min-maxing is going to be unreal. Yes, my boy, look at this man. He's hunting down the armor pen for his
you're not playing with Taro. You're not.
This is going to suck next season, man.
I think people don't understand.
Oh, dude, oh my God. At the beginning of their turn, Lightside allies have a 25% chance to dispel all debuffs on themselves. Like, this is adding a chaos factor for Bad Batch, man.
And now add crit damage, offense, and armor penetration on teams that are already going to slap. So I'm just saying, and people don't understand, the true tippy top where Taz is at should be fearful for their life, because it's going to be absolutely disgusting on you can actually buy your way to a complete min-max setup.
Oh my God, dude.
It's a different game. And you're going to see a lot of whales who are going to whale out. So this is new. So be prepared when you look at it. The game has now been leveled up, and your credit card does speak volumes.
Holy crap, dude. This cron is crazy too for Tarful. That's going to hurt so bad. It's fun out here, guys. All right, well, let's get into the wrap up. I'll let you go first, and I'll get my final piece in. But what do you have any final thoughts here as we close the season out, and we're enjoying our off week now. We're in our, like I said earlier, we're in our first week of Conquest, building up this new set. But anything else on your mind before we go?
Oh, just. Take the first week in. Take this week, build up some key. Even if you don't whale, just build up the right DC. Get yourself a couple level 9s of a couple different teams. JKC comes to mind. I think the Ayla one was a really good one if you've got a Relic 7. Just have some of them in your pocket. I think that's going to go a long way. But the power of the bulk is still here. And I far expect, like, all Dark Side is going to be all bulk. So just because the new set's out, don't discount that, because all your Dark Side only has is the last set. So if you don't have, and I'm going to give you a number just to be round, like 15 of the level 3 Dark Side bulk, go out and get you some old Datacrons and rebuild those, because you want about a good 15 to 20 of them. And I only say that because they have nothing else to go off of. Yeah, they can use some stats, but having 45% health and protection on your team is still a good team to get the job done on some of these things that are out there, like your Afras, like your Tuscans will thank you for it. There's so many different pieces they're going to be out where all they have is last set. That's my takeaway.
That's a pretty fair one. Yeah, for me, it's going to be, so I'm going to start. It's really a privilege to be where I'm at right now. I'm really delighted. First, I want to say, like, how grateful I am to have the opportunity to fight these opponents, because I've fought Taro before, I've fought Aesop before, and they've handed me my ass before. So actually getting to win for the first time against both of these guys, let alone in the same week, was really quite a thrill. But going into this new season, historically, these guys are going to have incredible development on this new set. So whatever the rawest possible outcomes are for what this set is capable of, I'll be facing front and center for the new week. I love it. I'm delighted. This is why I'm doing this. I am enjoying this so much. This is my Indigo plateau. I'm trying to be the very best like no one ever was, and these guys are just the absolute monsters. Love fighting them. So real privilege. But going forward here, I'm just gonna try and hold on. It's a wild ride, and the scouting is so key. I say it so often. If you really get into scouting, now here's the thing: like, you can spend a long time doing it. I don't think you need to. I think if you get practiced in it, you can do it in an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It depends on how much. It really depends on how much. How strong your opponents are. Like I'm dealing with real tricky folks, right? They have all of the possible options to play with, and they will have them in their strongest configuration. So they're real squirrely out this way. If you don't have opponents that are so squirrely, then adjust your scouting time accordingly. But these results, I'm gonna say, it's you. If you see the stream, you see me make mistakes. It's not because I'm just god tier in every decision. This is proper planning, decently executed on attack, right? Like the planning is on point, the defense is on point because the scout was real. And then I was able to fumble my way through attacks enough that I ended up with more banners, right? So like, yeah, guys, like I know a lot of people don't scout, especially even up in these higher reaches. There are people who don't scout, and there's more than one way to win. But the way that's working for me and the way that I plan to keep on going with is this like high intel approach, trying to read the person. I really enjoy that because even when I do lose the game, it'll be like, I know exactly why, because I did such a thorough job of like studying you beforehand that it's like, okay, this was the gap in my understanding. I might lose to you another time, but not the same way, you know? Other than that, yeah, thank you so much for being here, TJ. I know Dagger already had to take off here for the evening, but thanks so much to him. Yeah, I know I just monologued there for a second, TJ. So, yeah, you can have the last word to the people. Any other word here to the folks before we close the lights?
I go with the card, probably to echo your words, right? It don't take us long to do it. Between the three of us, we get things done pretty well. But I think that scouting is key. And I just looked. I think I'm going to be. I got to go 3-0 because I scouted properly. I took advice and then got things done. And I'll probably be right outside the top 10 or something like that, which I'm not looking forward to at all. I'm 26 right now, but like I looked at the numbers, I'm 39.73, so I'm ranked.
Wow, you've got some big nasties to fight through. Oh no, shit! Look, that's Dagger right there, 22.
Yeah,
Dagger's back in the mix, man. Dagger's back in the mix.
Right now I'm right there, like 13, based on the rank of where it's at. It's just the whole update. So, but scouting is key, man. I really do. And if you can keep practicing to do off meta things and you keep changing up your strategy so that if somebody does decide to scout you, you can make changes that are necessary, I think you can go a long way. And I think the proof is in the pudding that whatever's happening, I'm not the whaliest of whales. I get things done, but I'm still a thrifty whale. And I'm able to still maintain pretty reliably in the top 100 because of it. Yeah. My name stays up there for a reason. I put effort in. I talk to people, I try to learn, and then I try to apply those efforts.
Yeah. There will be that for all of us that we're talking here on this video, we're all in Kyber 1, we're all in like very high-end guilds, so we have most of everything, right? If you are more limited in your roster, like, yeah, you will you'll be restricted in what your choices are. That's fair. But hopefully most of your opponents will have similar types of restrictions. Yeah, just that intel makes a difference. Like, have faith in the fact that this is a strategy game, and if you do the homework for it, it really does raise the odds. Because the folks that I'm fighting out here, and even occasionally winning against, have 3 to 4 times my total rerolls. Like I have like somewhere just under 200, like 178, 180, something like that. I'm fighting like 700, 900 rerolls, like just out of sight numbers, and you can still win, but you gotta come correct. You gotta come prepared. Yeah. Just again echoing TJ. So we're just pinging off each other. Gosh, we should make a show together, TJ.
Oh, I think we do. Something about being plotted or schemed, I think is what they call it. Something like that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sticking around. This was always fun. Really appreciate your time. We're just under 35 minutes, so we did pretty good. Until next time, guys, we're gonna be taking most of the week off. I'm always hanging out on Discord. Feel free to drop in and chat. It's always good. But until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome. Take care.